Hi guys, this is Tamara. I'm coming back with another video today. We're going to talk a little bit about the different forms of abuse. And one of the reasons why I'm bringing this up today is because, number one, it's Friday and I usually add, some videos to kind of help us get started for the next week. The other reason is because I got a really good question from 5 different people on Tuesday asking about the different kinds of abuse. So we're just going to jump into that, guys. We're going to talk about that. And I think that, this is an important topic because we're going to be talking about religious and cult-like abuse next week. So thank you so much for those of you who have been subscribed to my channel. And for my new subscribers, thank you so much. We met 1,000 subscribers on Tuesday, and that is amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. For those of you who are not subscribed, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button so that you can stick around with us as we talk about this. We're going to have 4 weeks of talking about trauma, Mondays and Fridays, but then I also add in a bonus Wednesday video from time to time. So let's just go ahead and jump on in, all right? So when we're talking about abuse, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? A lot of people say, abuse is when you're hit, when you're kicked, when you're pushed, when you are, treated a certain way by somebody who either doesn't love you or doesn't care about your well-being. And the reality of that is that abuse can be a variety of different things, right? And so we're going to go over that. So let me start with the first and most common kind of abuse, which is physical. We all know what that is. We all know that it's hitting and kicking and punching and pushing and pinching and intimidating with body language and just kind of like dominating, right? So everybody's familiar with that kind of abuse. A lot of people are also very well aware of sexual abuse, and I'm going to post some videos in the description box below so that you can watch those and listen to some of the devastating stories that are across YouTube and even on channels where sexual abuse is not the topic. It's just, for some reason, been a very prominent topic in 2019. So I'm going to post some of those videos in the description box. Go ahead and click on those and take a look at them. They're pretty devastating. So sexual abuse is anything from rape to child molestation to sexual assault. It's against your will. It's intentional. It's premeditated. And in some ways, it's intimidating as well, because you might get some people say something like, if you tell what I'm doing to you, then A, B, and C is going to happen. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to, do something else to you. So there's always an element of intimidation and bondage when it comes to abuse, which often results in trauma. Okay. The next kind of abuse that some people know about, but it's very, very hard to prove. It's also very hard for Child Protective Services to prove. And it's 10 times that much more difficult for police and law enforcement to prove, which is emotional and psychological abuse. It is a real thing. Being called stupid, idiot, fool, crazy, psychotic, being told that you're never going to be anything in life, being told that you are a failure. Sorry guys for that sound. Being told that you are less than, being told that you're always like your father and you're going to be like your father. He was a nobody, right? All of that is emotional abuse. Emotional abuse could also include threats. It could also include intimidation of, someone throwing something at you but not hitting you, someone throwing different things at you that they know about your past, your history, maybe even bringing up some very scary trauma in your past or something private and embarrassing and humiliating, bringing that up, right? Being around your friends or your family. So in a romantic relationship, being around your friends and family and downgrading you and treating you a certain way in front of them, making you feel a certain way. Okay. So all of those things, guys, can be defined as emotional and psychological abuse. It has some kind of effect on how you see yourself and how you think of yourself. I liked a saying that I heard a couple weeks ago, and the saying was, children internalize what you say. Children internalize what you say, and it becomes their own voice. If you are a child who is emotionally and psychologically abused, you're digesting that. Right? When you digest that, it then becomes your language about yourself. And so then you experience what's called negative self-talk, negative attributions, right? Learned helplessness, right? You begin to experience all those things because you've internalized what you have been told. It's horrific. The next one is financial abuse, and that usually happens in marriages that are abusive, right? The man holds all the power in the relationship. He pays all the bills. He opens all the credit card accounts. He has the retirement fund. He has, gotten the college fund set up, and he's still contributing to it for your children, right? But financial abuse is something that a lot of women go through. Men go through it as well, but women go through it a lot more, especially when they're financially dependent on their husband. Okay. Financial abuse tends to happen the most when a couple is divorcing. That's typically when you see it, or in a custody dispute between two parents over a child. All right. The next one is religious abuse. We're going to talk about this next week when we start talking about cults and satanic abuse and trauma. We're also going to talk about suicide contagion and how that relates to religious abuse and cults. So stay tuned for that video on Wednesday, because we're going to be talking about that as well. But religious abuse can include saying things like God is going to punish you, the gods in the heavens are going to destroy you, using religion and God and Scripture and in the Bible to really make you feel hurt and harmed. That's not who God is, right? Scriptures and God and all of that spirituality, it's all about making you a better person. It's all about giving you true direction and faith and understanding about who you are and who God is and who the world is. So when somebody uses it to imprison you or intimidate you or harm you or make you afraid, that is religious abuse. It is not appropriate. Even if a pastor does it, even if a bishop does it, even if, right, you have to be careful. And if somebody's trying to abuse you with religion, then you need to get out. It's a cult. It's not positive. The last thing that I want to point out is legal abuse. And that's when somebody takes you to court over the smallest things. They're using the court system to manipulate you and make you feel a certain way. They're also using the court system to keep you intimidated, to keep you feeling undermined and controlled by a larger system, right? If they can't control you, they're going to spend millions of dollars trying to control you legally. And so all of these kinds of abuse, physical, sexual, emotional, and psychological, financial, religious, and legal, all those different kinds of abuse really can beat you up. And then you start to feel like a nobody. Thank you so much, guys, for being with me in this video today. We made it really short, which I'm so happy about. That's awesome, because I've been trying to get it under 10, 11, 12 minutes. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for Wednesday of next week. We're going to jump into some of those topics I mentioned. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.
So many places still undiscovered, but you're stuck in a blast of yesteryear. Forget all the problems just for the moment that is not